Claimed to be an innkeeper, looked like a mercenary adventurer for hire, seemed to know a bit about this Dragonborn business, offering assistance and hospitality, and seeming to know rather more about his precious cargo than he was happy with. Still, he'd not sensed hostile intent or dislike in her. She'd been appraising him carefully, and there was something predatory about her, yes, but that hadn't been hate in her eyes. That had been pleasure, he was sure. Carefully reined in pleasure, but delight and anticipation nonetheless. Odd, very odd. Still, he needed help, and she was offering. What the price was going to be, he had no idea, but he didn't have a lot of options right now. Should all go wrong, of course, he could always stab her and run, but he couldn't flee far with Mother, and too many people had seen them leave together. He would need to be careful. Ensure he was over the border in Falkreath before anyone suspected anything. But something told him not to worry. She wasn't an enemy. That was good. He wouldn't actually enjoy stabbing her. She was nice, kind, gentle, helpful to poor stranded Cicero. Pretty, very pretty indeed, especially given she was clearly older than him. He'd always liked older women. Maybe her ulterior motive was nothing other than a desire to seduce a younger man into her bed. Foolish Cicero. You are keeper now. You have no time for that sort of frivolity. It was true, he had a job to do and a Falkreath sanctuary to find. He couldn't be running off on adventures and climbing mountains and hunting dragons just because an attractive woman told him to. He wanted to, though. It had been years since his last contract. Years since his last lover. Years alone in the dark, alone with Mother. Alone, 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 alone. Cicero. Delphine's voice cut through, alarmed. Are you all right? Curses. He'd forgotten how to keep thoughts in his head again, hadn't he? Yes, perfectly. He laughed, smiling at her and hoping she didn't think he was completely insane. Cicero was just thinking how long his journey's been and how glad he is you're helping him. She didn't look convinced all was well, but she did look a little sorry for him. That's quite all right, Cicero, she said gently, patting his back. I can hardly leave the Dragonborn of legends stranded and alone, can I? She leaned forward, lowering her voice as she murmured in his ear,